My name is Piper, and I'm 16 years old. As you probably realized already, I'm a TikToker. I'm pretty great at it, actually, but popularity comes with a price. What would you sacrifice for fame? It doesn't come easy. One day, I learned that lesson myself. Subscribe to the channel, and I will tell you what I had to lose to become popular. Until a few months ago, I'd just been an ordinary teenager. I'd gone to school, hung out with friends, shot various funny videos on my phone. At first, no one really watched them, and I had almost no subscribers, but I still kept trying and hoping that one day people would notice me, and I would become famous. My parents knew about my hobby, but they didn't take it seriously. They thought all TikToks were just tasteless, childish pranks. Little wonder. After all, my parents were very creative people. My dad was a photographer, and my mom was a fashion designer. Our home looked more like a studio or a workshop than a normal apartment. However, they had trouble finding clients lately. They attributed it to financial crisis. Still, they kept insisting that TikTok couldn't be more different from real art. But one day, everything changed. I was showing my friend Penelope my new TikToks during a break. She said they looked very cool and asked if I'd heard about the new effect with a moving line. I didn't know anything about it at the time and felt intrigued. It turned out that it was a trending effect many TikTokers used. It worked like this. While you were filming a video, a blue line began to move across the screen and warp the space. You could move your head, body, eyes, or objects while the line was moving, which resulted in very cool final images. Penelope and I started experimenting with the effect. It was so great. Why hadn't I heard of such a cool filter before? I thanked my friend for telling me about it and rushed home to think of new video ideas. I filmed several videos with the time warp scan effect that very day. The results looked fun and unusual. I'm not gonna lie, I borrowed some ideas from other TikTokers. Of course, I added some of my own as well. I uploaded the new videos to my TikTok and went to bed satisfied. I woke up to an amazing surprise. Several thousand people had subscribed to my account overnight, and the number of likes had skyrocketed. People liked my experiments with the new effect. I'd also received a couple of emails from companies that wanted to sponsor my videos on TikTok. I couldn't believe my luck and immediately ran to my parents. They looked at my videos for a long time and read messages from the companies. It was obvious that they were astonished. They went to discuss something in the other room, so I couldn't hear them. But when they came back out, they were smiling. My parents praised me for my success and told me how talented I was. Yes, of course I was. Why else would I have achieved such success? My dad said that since I'd found something I liked, I should go all out. He brought me the lights he used for his photography. Here you go, Piper. These are yours now. You need to have good lighting if you want your videos to look good, he said. My mom brought out her expensive makeup and gave it to me as well. She said that I should look my best in my videos. It was unbelievable. Only the day before that, they still called what I was doing nonsense. But now they were giving me so much support. At that moment, I felt like a real professional TikToker. Since then, I'd been treating TikTok like a real job. My parents helped me and handled the money I'd begun to earn. I created native ads, promoted brands, used music they told me to, but of course, I'd like to make videos using the moving blue line filter the most. Everyone at school found out about my success very quickly. I'll be honest, I told everyone myself. Of course, I immediately became a celebrity at school. Everybody wanted to be friends with me, asked me for advice, copied me. It felt so great. It's a little wonder that I got a swelled head. Well, what was the big deal? Famous people could afford to be a bit conceited, couldn't they? My classmates saw my whims as a natural part of my new image and played along. Only Penelope got mad with me for real. She said I didn't spend any time with her anymore. But I was always busy. My entire day was scheduled by the minute. And then something unexpected happened. I dressed up as some sort of angel or goddess and filmed a video using the effect. It turned out very cool on the first try. I uploaded it to TikTok without expecting anything special from it. But just a day after that, I simply couldn't believe my eyes. The video had got 100 million likes. I'd never had such success before. I immediately showed it to my parents, and they were overjoyed. We even threw a party to celebrate. I immediately became famous all over the world. All sorts of media wrote about me. The girl who got so many likes in a single day. That had been a record. The coolest TikTokers subscribed to me, and dozens of sponsorship offers rolled in. My parents barely had the time to reply to everyone. I felt like a real star, especially since my parents supported me and spared no effort in turning me into a cool celebrity. My mother brought me to fashion stores every day. We bought the best clothes and the most expensive cosmetics. I filmed all of it to use for my TikToks. After all, the audience wanted to see every second of my life. Dad also bought a cool car and drove me to school in it, like I was a real princess in a carriage. We would drive up to school and Dad would run out of the car, turn on the camera on his phone and film himself opening the door for me and offering me his hand to help get out. I walked proudly to school and Dad walked behind me and filmed my classmates turning to look at me. He even made them treat me like a star. I posted all of it on TikTok and got a ton of likes. However, I noticed that people at school were starting to treat me a bit differently. No one asked for my advice or tried to be just like me anymore. More and more often, I began to hear whispers behind my back and realized that they envied, even hated me. But what could I do? All famous people were like that. They couldn't please everyone. If you wanted to be popular, you had to sacrifice something. After the video of me looking like an angel had gained over 100 million likes, my workload increased even more. Every day I would film what my parents told me to. They handled the advertisements and the sponsorships and represented me. I stopped doing my homework because I just didn't have any time left for it. I couldn't remember the last time I'd hung out with friends. Sometimes I didn't even have the time to sleep. I grew very tired and sometimes felt like I no longer wanted to be on TikTok. The desire to stay popular was the only thing that kept me going. One day while filming another video, I got a call from my friend Penelope. I felt so happy. Finally, something to distract me from work. But just as I said hi, my dad grabbed my phone and started talking to Penelope. "Who is this? What friend? Piper doesn't hang out with losers. Don't call her again," he said. He'd gone too far. I was a star, but I wouldn't have talked to Penelope like that. That's when I realized I'd just lost my best friend. The next day, when my dad drove me to school as usual and filmed the whole thing, I noticed that something had changed. All the students at school kept turning away when they saw me. What was going on? When I walked into the classroom, all of my classmates who had been merrily chatting a second before immediately fell silent. When the lesson began, they all pointedly sat away from me. I felt like an outcast. Everyone had turned their backs on me. No one wanted to talk to me during the breaks, and nobody sat next to me in the canteen. I realized that it was all because of my own behavior and felt uneasy. I wanted to talk to Penelope and apologize for my dad, but when I came up to her, my former friend didn't even want to listen to me and silently walked away. I didn't have anyone else at school. Do you know how terrible it is when everyone hates you? It was the price I had to pay for my popularity, but that price was too high. When I got home, my parents were already waiting for me. They had prepared scripts for my new video already. Dad said that we didn't have much time and had to start at once, but I interrupted him and told him I didn't want to do it anymore. I'd had enough. "Piper, what are you talking about? We can't just quit now," said my mother, surprised. But I told them that I was done with TikTok and was going to delete my account. After all, it was my hobby. I could do whatever I wanted with it. It took my parents a few minutes to realize that I wasn't kidding. And then Dad got angry. He said he'd taken out a large loan for the car and everything else, and it had to be paid back. "And while this nonsense keeps making money, you need to do it," he said angrily. My mother added that if we gave it all up now, I would be left without the expensive things I'd grown used to. There would be no shopping, beauty salons, or cool trinkets. Only then did I realize that my parents had only supported me for the sake of money. They didn't care about my passion. They still thought it was all stupid nonsense, but they were ready to do the things they didn't like to get money. Such thoughts made me very sad. I said I needed to think and went to my room. "Think fast and come back. We're short of time," my dad called me. So here I am, rewatching my TikTok videos and not knowing what to do next. I want to get my friends back and to be treated at school like before, but I also want to be popular and famous. What should I do? What would you do if you were me? Write in the comments down below.